Good morning, everybody. Here it is, Wednesday morning, March 27th, 2019. And I'm here. I'm your boy Travis, to talk to you about my adventures in programming. I'm in my 6th week at the San Diego Code School, which is a full stack JavaScript boot camp. It is a 16-week program, if I didn't already mention that. And the first 12 weeks are the core modules, and the last 4 you do an internship. And I'm currently in my 5th or 6th week. Time just at this point slows down, speeds up, goes on an incline, goes on a dip. I am currently starting what they call the React module, which is it's basically the halfway point, obviously 6th week in the program. And this is where the stuff gets real, guys. It has been some challenges. Now, you know me, I don't know if I've expressed this before, but I'm a big fan of Joseph Campbell and Christopher Vogler and The Hero's Journey. So I kind of relate a lot of my steps along the way to that. And we've already left the ordinary world. We've crossed the threshold. Now I'm facing the true challenges before I come back to the ordinary world. And I'm facing all these different archetypes, guys. It's insane. I would say, for me, the biggest challenge, there's a couple of them. Just the syntax of JavaScript and keeping it in my head and understanding when and where to use it, and being at a point where they teach you kind of like, these are the basic parts of JavaScript. Now here's the new syntax that they've just brought in the last couple of years, and how to evolve the way you've learned into this type of syntax. It's easy. Anybody can do this stuff, guys. Anybody can learn to program if you're into it. I love it. I'm so fascinated by this stuff, like making little things move and pop up. You can do that with this language. You can build all these amazing websites. The point where I'm at in the education is I'm doing full stack web developer or engineer. Basically means you do the front end and the back end of these websites or whatever software that you're building. It'll be a web application, something that's on your phone, something that's on your computer, something that's in your goggles. And it can go anywhere, guys. I've learned, I've been open up to so many things. And so right now, I just finished up this module, learning what this, the server environment called Node.js. Obviously here, JS, JavaScript. And it's basically an open source server environment. It's free. Obviously being open source, which is great. It runs on different platforms. You've got Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac, all that type of stuff. And basically what it does is it uses JavaScript on the server side of the website and communicates the front end with the part that you're seeing. So we're learning how to create our own servers. And this shit is so terrifying, guys. It's so terrifying. Like, HTML, CSS, that's the pretty stuff. With the, bachelor degree in design, that stuff comes natural. Working at a, Flying Panther tattoo, that's, this is what I've done my whole life, building restaurants. I know how to design, but when it comes to the server stuff, you have to change your mind to interlock these pieces. And at first, I was like, there's no way I could do this stuff, guys. There was no way. I went and bought videos on Udemy, which I'll put a link down below. I went front-end masters. I've bought books on Humble Bundle, everything, guys. I'm trying to have like a toolkit so I can go in there, like when you're a fabricator and a machinist, which was my former career. You come in there with your mics, and you're either going to have a good mic from Harbor Freight, or you're going to have a nice one, a nice Brown and Sharp or something like that. And that's kind of where I equate the tools. And if you're going to learn something, you learn from the best. And from what I understand is, when we go into an internship, you segue into your career and hopefully get a job, you want to find a good mentor. So I am putting it out there. I go to all these meetups, guys. I go to a React meetup. And it's a San Diego JavaScript meetup. It's like the umbrella. They have these little guys. Mike, who is actually my teacher and mentor, he's on the board for San Diego JavaScript, and they have all these little umbrella things. They have a React, which I'll get into in just a moment, Vue meetup, and I actually just went to a March Mingle meetup, which in San Diego is a huge tech meetup for everybody that happens once a year. It was the 15th one at Balboa Park, and I met a lot of people, did a lot of good networking, and every time I go to one of these meetups, I'm just inspired with these people. They're so awesome and they're so friendly, and I'm learning a bunch, and I'm bringing this into like my world, like all these people, and I just it's so inspiring, guys. So when I'm talking about Node stuff, I had like Node on my name tag, like it's like, hello, my name is Travis and I do Node, I'm learning Node, and people were like, hey, you do this stuff, you want a job? And I'm like, hey, pump the brakes, dog. I got a couple more weeks of school, and then I could probably do something, and you could pay me, and then I can afford to eat some food. But until then, we gotta hold on. So basically, let me continue on to my education part of it, and we'll wrap this up. With Node, the next thing when you get into the server, you learn. I learned this thing called Express, which is a fast, unopinionated, minimalist web framework for Node.js that provides features for web and mobile applications. And it just kind of basically took the challenge from here, like this, and I had to make this little app that like went in and they grabbed these things called APIs. And APIs are basically like, it's an interface, it's an application interface that you go in and say, for example, you're going to go to a website and you want to find out about the weather, or you want to find out about, for me, your favorite retro Nintendo games, because, Zelda, baby, that's how I live my life. I think I'm Link. He's one of my heroes, right? I want to save Zelda. And that's basically what it is when I talk about the hero's journey. So, getting back to this, you take these APIs and you bring this data in and you manipulate that, and you can show that data on the front end or like a website or on the back end, and you can have it, you can say, okay, I looked at this, I put it in a JSON file, which is JavaScript object notation, and you can break it down like you're looking at stats in the back of like a baseball card or your G.I. Joe character on the back of the little blister pack, and you can use that data to manipulate however you want if you're looking for a certain thing. So I feel like in the future, hopefully I make some websites about retro video games, cause Nintendo games, because that's some of my favorite stuff. So basically, you would bring the data in and then manipulate it and show and explain to somebody, whatever they're looking for, whatever type of tool they're trying to build. Basically, Express takes that in with a bunch of utilities and what they call middleware. And so middleware is like, say you're bringing that API in, and then you're bringing it into Express inside of Node. It's kind of like that link, from what I understand. And so with all these projects, it's just little more and more. It's helping my mind work. And I've gotten to a point where I learned. I built the back end of this very simple to-do app. And I'm going to be building the front end in the next step that I got to, guys, is called React. And, this is where it's going to get tough, guys. I started reading the books. I started watching some videos on front-end masters. I started getting to the, I'm at the point where I'm not butting my head, but I'm going, okay, this is where I'm going to define who I am. If I'm going to be a front end or a better back end guy, I'm really liking the back ends. I mean, because it's scary to me, but I'm enjoying it. I'm like enjoying this challenge, and I'm like, wow, like I made that happen, dude, and that made that happen, and it'll be like the smallest thing. Like for example, inside of the Node, they have these plugins. and they have these packages, and they call it Node Package Manager, and I brought in this one called NodeMon, and basically what it would do is you have your server running in your server. It's like when you go to your little website and you do your little thing and you run through ports in your computer, well, you can check to see if your server's talking from your local computer to like your browser, and this shit wasn't working, dudes. Like I was like, what is going on here? And you have to restart and cancel it. Well, I figured out this one called NodeMon. I was able to get it to work, and then I went into this file called package.json, and I went in and I was like, oh, I changed these little things, and I can make it constantly run by just typing this one command in the terminal. I mean, I feel like a hacker, and it happens, and I'm like, you know, I'm so excited because it'll be like 5 minutes of a challenge or like 2 hours of me trying to figure this out, and it happens, and then it works. And the next 5 minutes it explodes, and then I'm like Googling, like, how do you make a noose? You know, it's insane. So let me talk to you a little bit about React. So React is it's a JavaScript library created by Facebook, and it's a user interface. That's like all the buttons you see and all that type of stuff. It's a user interface library, and it's a tool for building UI components. So like if you're building like a little web app, and you're going to put buttons and make the buttons connect to things that you do on the back end and bring that data in, like the APIs I was talking about. It's all of that. And so now I'm on the challenge where now I'm going to connect that. So I spent the last 2 weeks figuring out the basics of the back end, and now I'm going into the front end. And I mean, we already do a little bit of that with HTML, but now it's like how to make it look good and materialize it and use CSS and implement all these things to make it look beautiful. So that's where I'm at, guys. I'm loving it. I told Mike, my teacher, you know, I'm going to step up to the challenge, dog. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a 5-minute talk on something I really enjoy at these meetups, because I feel like if I'm scared of talking in front of people, but if I can do it in front of you guys and then do it in front of a crowd of people, I mean, someone's going to see me out there and going to want to offer me a job, and you know, I'm going to be able to like go back to providing for my family again, and you know, do good things. But most of all, I would love this shit. I want to do this for a living. I want to program and make code and take this front end stuff and talk to this back end stuff and just work with people and manage, you know, eventually manage a team and just make really good software and apps for people and next level it. I mean, and I can't wait to just take what I've learned, go out there to work for a company and go onto the next step in my hero's journey, and take the basic, because you know, the more you open up this pit, and it opens up and it just spreads out. And so I can't wait to take this little piece and learn more and create things and, you know, take over the world. I mean, whatever, but all right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I love you. And comment, please subscribe. Let me know how I could do better in these videos. I know I could chop them up a little bit better. And I will do my best to involve that, and, you know, troll if you want to, because I love that stuff. Keep it and bring it, and I'll put links down below to my GitHub. If you want to look at my code, please look at my code. Please look at my code and tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me how I could do it better, because I want to be professional. So look at my GitHub, look at my repo, Twitter me, Instagram me, Facebook me, LinkedIn me. I'll see you guys soon. Love ya. Bijou.